Hey everyone, Amber here from Majestic. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are sewing up Cotton Cuts month 7 of Wild West Puzzle Mystery Quilt. As always, I am sewing up a large Josie, and for this month we have one block. It's quite large, it looks like this, and you will end up with 4 different sections. So make sure that you post a picture with your Flat Nancy into the Cotton Cuts Facebook group once you finish, so that way you could potentially earn a prize. And next month, I can't believe it's already going to be February 2025, Flyway, which is the next spring puzzle mystery quilt, is going to be shipping. I am fortunate to be the ambassador for a large phoenix, and I'm so excited. It's going to be my first time sewing with batiks. So if you want to join in, you can use my code. It's AmberFly, and you'll get a bonus gift the first month when you sign up. And also, they are only doing the prepay for the entire box up front until the first clue ships. After that, it will only be available month to month, and I highly recommend that big box because once you get it, you can start sewing your clue right away once it's released. So I hope you enjoyed this month's tutorial. If you do, please consider subscribing or giving me a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. Enjoy the tutorial. All right, so I have everything laid out. I have my fabric pieces here, my clue, and my color card. And I am sewing on my Singer 5528 using Aurifil thread, a 7010 universal needle. And I also have my little pressing station right here with a wool mat and the mini iron. So for this month, we have 4 clues or 4 sections of clue 7. So I'm going to be making one of these. So just like with the others, I will be dividing all these measurements by 4. If you want to make all 4 at once, follow those little multiples. Okay, and I have my color card because I always still like flip things around. So we need to start with a small A triangle, which is our blue, and a small F triangle, which is our bright pink. And sometimes they want to stick together, so okay, I'm going to put them right sides together, match everything up. You can clip or pin them. I just tend to hold them. I've been having some trouble with my machine wanted to eat the fabric, so I've been trying to really be mindful of hand cranking it in first and then sewing, and also holding my threads to help kind of pull it through. So those are a couple things that help. You could also use a leader piece, but for me, I don't like having to cut off even more, so I try to avoid that. And our seams are being pressed towards the A, which is that top right hand corner. So I like to press the back first and then from the front. Okay, and now for step 2, we need to we need to sew a F triangle to the bottom, or square. I'm sorry, my brain is not working today. So let me repeat that. We have our step 1 here with our AF triangle, and then right underneath that, we need a F square. So I'm just going to put them right sides together, and they should still line up perfectly. I'm using my full 1/4 inch seam allowance. As long as you are consistent, your quilt will all match up. And I have way too much trouble with keeping a consistent scant 1/4 inch. Okay, and then for this, our seams are being pressed towards that bottom square we just added. So again, I press from the back first, and it just kind of helps set it so when I open it, it doesn't flip over onto itself. And I'm just going to set that to the side. So now for step 3, we need a small C triangle, which is our green fabric for Josie, and a small S triangle, which is that bright pink. And again, I'm just putting them right sides together, making sure that they are lined up. And now for this one, our seams will be pressed to that top left towards the C fabric, which is our green fabric. And I'm using this mini steam fast iron, but I don't have any water in it. I'm just using it as hot. Using the steam will actually sometimes shrink your fabrics and can make your blocks come out a little bit warped. Okay, so now we need to add a F square onto the bottom of this one as well. So I like to lay that out and then fold it down. Okay, and then for this one, our seams will be pressed towards the bottom, towards that square, and then gently opening them. Okay, so now we have step 5. We need a large F square. So I'm just grabbing that because it's still folded. Okay. And we are sewing our step 2, which is the one with our A triangle that is going to the left, and our step 4, which is the one with the green, to the right. So just how this is laid out is how we are attaching them. So I'm going to start on the right hand side first, and I'm just laying them right sides together. This has a center seam, but since it's one large square, there's no center seam there. And because I'm doing a full 1/4 inch, there's a little bit of space on the top and the bottom of that F square, and I am just centering this piece. So if you have a little bit extra on the top or the bottom, just try to center it. It's from doing the full 1/4 inch instead of a scant, but it will all be hidden in the seams. Okay, and then so for this, our seams are being pressed towards that large center square. So I am pressing the back first and then gently opening. And I'm just giving it a little press in the middle because it was folded, just to get that crease out. And sometimes when I have a lot of seams coming together, like here, I like to give a little bit of an extra press. Okay, and so for this, again, I'm putting it right sides together, but I'm just turning it so I can see it a little bit better, and so I can center this like I did with the last one. And because it is longer, I am going to clip it into place. And then again, this one is also being pressed towards that center. So I'm pressing from the back first. And then when I again gently fold this, those seams will already kind of be going the correct direction. Okay, and then I'm just going to move that up because we're going to do a different section. So now we need a square, which is our blue fabric. And then we need a D triangle on top, which is our white fabric, and an F triangle to the right of it. So it's going to look like this. And I am going to start with the F triangle, which is on that right hand side. And again, it should line up perfectly. And for this, it is being pressed towards that center square. So I'm gently opening and giving it a press from the front. And make sure you're lifting your iron when you're pressing, not dragging it. That can help your help shift your blocks or your pieces if you are dragging it. And now we're going to put that top one, our D piece. And again, even with that triangle sewn to the right, it matches perfectly. And this one here is also being pressed towards that the A square. And you can see here, when I was sewing, it flipped the seam allowance. Sometimes that happens with my feed dog. So it's not a huge deal because it just means your seams won't nest. But I'm just going to pop it real quick and re-sew that. I can't change my feed dog and presser foot pressure. So sometimes it wants to flip the seams if I'm not careful. So if that happens, you could pick it apart, or if you don't care if that they don't nest perfectly, then you could leave it. Okay, and so this is going to be pressed towards that A square. So I'm pressing from the back first and then opening it up. Okay, so that kind of makes a large triangle. And for step 7, we need to join a large C triangle to the top. And our C fabric is that green. So it's going to look like this, and there's not a center seam here that I need to match up. So again, I can just put them right sides together. And I'm just taking a minute to line them up. I am going to click right on the seam for underneath, so that way that hopefully does not shift because of my presser foot. And I had been doing pretty good, but this one decided just now to eat it. So I'm just clipping it apart or clipping off the threads that have been sewn already and just kind of straightening that back out. And now this will be pressed towards the large C triangle. And you can see even over here where it had started to eat the fabric, since I pulled it out and re-sewed it, it's perfectly fine. So that finishes this section. I'm really happy with that point. That's probably one of the best points that I've ever really done. And I'm going to set that to the side. So you have a couple more. So now we are on step 8. I need a C square, which is my green fabric. And I need a D triangle for the top, which is the white fabric. And a pink triangle for that left-hand side, which is the F fabric. And so I'm going to start with the F fabric first, just lining that up. And so now this is going to get pressed towards the C fabric, which is our green square. So I'm just pressing that back side first, and then from the front. And now we need our D triangle, which is going to fold down. Again, it will line up perfectly, and my seams are pressed towards me on this one, so hopefully this one doesn't shift on me. And then this one is being pressed again towards that bottom C square. So I'm going to do the back and then fold it open. Okay, and this is similar to our last step, except now we are going to add a large A triangle up here. And our large A fabric is that bright blue. So here's my triangle. I'm going to fold it right sides together. I'm just turning it so I can see the edge. I always turn everything towards me, just so I can see it better to line up. And again, I'm just taking time to line up all the sides here. And I'm clipping the center where, making sure my seams are pressed the correct direction. And this one be pressed towards that large A triangle. I'm just pressing that back side first and then gently opening it. I try not to tug when I open, just very carefully fold it open. Okay, so it should look like that. So now we are on step 10. So we need to join step 9, which is the one that we just did, to the right of step 7. So basically our large triangles, the C should be on the left and the A should be on the right. And I'm just going to fold them right sides together and turn it so I can see it. And I'm just matching up those edges. There's no seams, thankfully, that I need to line up. And on the bottom, I'm just making sure that I've clipped it so those seams are being pressed the correct way. Okay, and then for this one, it's going to be pressed to the left, so towards that green large C triangle. Just gently open it. And give it a good press from the front. I'm just holding it here on the bottom a little bit longer because more seams are coming together right there. Okay, and so our last step is we need to join our step 10, which is this here, to the top of our step 5. Okay, and you'll know that you have done it correctly because your C fabrics will line up and your A fabrics will line up. So now I'm going to fold this right sides together, but there are two seams. These two seams here line up. So I want to make sure that they are lined up and nested first. So I just put it right sides together and turn it towards me. So again, that I can see. And so what I do is now that it's near me, I kind of pull this up a little bit so I can see and lay down that seam exactly so they're nested. So that means this seam is pointing to the left, the bottom is towards the right. And the same thing on this side, except the top is to the right and the bottom is to the left. And I'm clipping those two first because those are really important for me to line up. And then I'll clip along the rest of the edges. And I just want to be really mindful because I have seams on the top and the bottom that I'm not accidentally, that they're not being flipped to the wrong side. All right, and then now for these here, we are pressing it towards the top. So again, this is a very large block. So just making sure I press all the way across first. And then I'm gently going to open this, trying not to tug. I don't want to accidentally flip my seam over. And I like to press the center first because that's where most of the seams are coming together. And while you're doing this, you can give all the other seams a quick press. All right, so this finishes up our month 7 block. You should have 4 of these if you are making the large size. All right, so we have just finished up our month 7 block. Don't forget to post a photo with your Flat Nancy into the Cotton Cuts Facebook group. I hope you found my tutorial helpful. I will have all the information in the description if you are interested in signing up for the next spring Puzzle Mystery Quilt Flyway. And don't forget, I do have that gift code. It is Amber Fly, and you'll receive a bonus gift on sign up or the first month when it ships. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll be sewing along with me for Flyway as well. See you next time. Bye.